No payment is received at all. There's no AdSense, nothing. This is just a joke. So the Super Bowl just started, and yeah, I'm not in the stadium obviously, and it's starting, and it looks like they're 0-0. The Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. We got some donuts that look nasty. They're like blue and orange. And we got this drink, this funny guy on the cover. And he got like a drink. And we got like these Snickers, crunchy Snickers. There we go. Super Bowl 50 at Santa Clara. We're in the first quarter. And the Broncos just got a three with one touchdown goal. And on the Panthers, there's a guy named Johnson. So, there you go. There's your moment. There's a funny commercial on here. I might remind you of it later. Involving avocados from Mexico and aliens and Andorians. There's Andorians in it. So, yeah, there was this weird commercial where they got Jeff Goldblum singing about apartments. He's doing the song from Moving On Up to the Top of his, like a parody of it. And it's weird. It's about selling apartments on the east side, which wouldn't make sense in Detroit, if you know what I mean. Or even in San Jose, for that matter. And then they showed footage from the Los Angeles first Super Bowl. And that confused confusion because this is actually in Santa Clara. Yeah, we get it. They mentioned it later. But this is not LA Memorial Stadium. This is Santa Clara. And also, it's nice to know that Jeff Goldblum has watched the Reese's for Life Charlie Brown parody and put that song parody in the commercial. No, he didn't, but it's a coincidence. But hey, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's an X-File. Call Mulder and Scully! And yeah, I tried one of these crispy special edition candy bars. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a Snickers bar crossed with a... There he goes. Crossed with the other thing. Yeah, crossed with a Rice Krispie treats. So, we're back to the game and the narrator and whatever. And we are still in the first quarter, 7 minutes into play. Yeah, so, and it's still 0-3. Denver is ahead. So, yeah, there was a commercial with what appeared to be Neil Armstrong, and he was driving an Audi. Yeah, and it was Jungle Book trailer. New Jungle Book. Didn't they remake that movie like 15 years ago? What was odd is earlier there was a commercial about new money and old money, and the commercial was implying that PayPal was new money. PayPal's been around since at least 1998. It ain't new money anymore. Sorry, guys. Well, it officially got big in the mid-2000s, I guess. But it's funny that there's more commercials for these Super Bowls than there is playing. It's been it's like 7 minutes and something of game, whereas it's probably been a half an hour. We had the puppy baby monkey commercial, which is a chimeric creature who comes out and does funny things. And then we also had the Quesalupa introduction with George Scalos in it. That was referenced on the Jason Calavito website and on Nostalgia Critic. And no, Cinema Snob. Same people. Cinema Snob. Yeah, it's a Quesalupa. That's what the secret thing is. And it's all over the internet long before that. And now they've shown the commercial. And it wasn't. And Calavito doesn't need to worry. The only thing he was concerned, oh no, Ancient Aliens is mainstream, and now it's going to be even more annoying. All he says in the commercial is aliens, and then looks away. There's a lot of alien themed stories. So he's just part of the commercial. There's like a bunch of people in it. The last celebrity, briefly, is George Takei, who was, oh my, at the last or something like that. He said, I think he said, actually. He should have said, oh my, but I think he just said, that's the longest 7 minutes ever. It's just, there we go. Per beast. Something just happened. About 6 minutes, 20 seconds in. We have a touchdown by the Broncos because he ran the touchdown over the side, Yeah, down the field. And he ran the ball, and he went into the end zone. So he got the ball, and the other guy grabbed it the last second as the other guy dropped it. So one of the Panthers like dropped it, and the 97 jumped in and grabbed it on the Broncos side and caught it and rolled into the end zone. So yeah, he got the ball. So there we go, touchdown, and an extra point makes it 10-0. Denver Broncos. So yeah, they've been playing steadily for about game time 4.5 minutes since the 10-0 thing. Somebody got injured on the Panther side. Looked like somebody sat on him, but no, it was a leg injury, and that sucks. But then there's so yeah, they've been playing constantly the game and no commercials at this point for like 15 minutes. The way it works is we're already an hour into the game, and we're only at in-game play 15 minutes going by. Yeah, there's going to be a Jason Bourne movie where they're just calling it Jason Bourne, and that's stupid. And there's and now you can buy mortgages on your cell phone, which literally means bad guys can buy mortgages from your house on your cell phone. Great idea, great idea. And also the Show the Jungle Book preview. It is still in the first quarter. No, we are in the second quarter. We are 13 minutes out in the second quarter. And it is still 10-0 Broncos. Yeah. Of the second inning. And we got Denver 10 and Carolina 7. And it looks like they received an extra. There was a challenge call, but they didn't accept it. Yeah, so they're close at this point because there was a touchdown by Carolina. And Kadabra is Panther-like, so she wants the Panthers to win. Naughty kitty. So yeah, there was a Ninja Turtles commercial. It's pretty cool. The new one, Out of the Shadows. The Shadows, yes. And also a sort of sexist commercial in which there's these two hot chicks going down the street, and these guys keep looking at them. And then they're in a car, and then they keep getting distracted. It's a commercial for apparently a cell phone thing or something, but it has girls in it. And and it's sexist because it implies that they're all the men are only interested in the hot girls. Ooh, hot girls, and they're looking at them, and okay. They might as well have gone all the way and showed the cleavage like in the Turtles commercial. Except everybody's seen Megan Fox. And so they know what that looks like. So these other girls are in this other one. But yeah, that's just like, I don't know what the message there is other than don't be distracted, I guess, by boobs or something. I don't know. But yeah, unless you're a Ninja Turtle, in which case it's okay. Yeah, so apparently there's these weird catches and fumbles and things as a result of the field, which they replaced in January. And there's like all these divots in the field and rips in it and stuff from them running on it. Apparently they didn't replace it right. So some of the players are actually falling and breaking their cleats and stuff on the field. Like, wow, this is a new field. They just replaced it. I guess all the water and stuff, because the outdoor field kind of messed up like their footing and stuff. It's like water underneath it. Apparently this turnover was really big thing that happened. Return. They wanted one. They wanted a return. They didn't get it. So apparently they're trying to get from the 5-yard line to do a score for the Panthers. And there's a dude that they kept cutting to that's got one of those Western mustaches, but it's like half Western mustache, half 70s porn stash. But it looked good on him because he's like 6'9" or 10 or something, 7 foot or something, and probably 300 pounds. So I don't think I'm gonna say, hey, you got a funny porn stash. So so that was a famous point return. Apparently the biggest one in Super Bowl history. That was a point return, and now it is 13-7. They just played a commercial for opioid medication used to treat bowel problems, and I thought it would be hilarious that since there was a lot of staring around in that one, draft it with the one with the staring around at the hot chicks. and have him like staring, not because they're hot chicks, but because they're farting. And they're like, ah, dun, 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 dun. I need my opioid. She's all, ah. It's all like, I wish I had some of what you've got that makes you fart so well. Yeah. Fa-bow. 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 And, yeah, this is the second. And we got 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And we're going to go to the halftime show shortly. And it is 13-7, Denver. 13 and Carolina 7. And there's been a lot of errors and things and interceptions, which some of them are blaming on the field. But maybe it's the field because it does look tore up a little bit now that they've been playing on it. But maybe it's them. Carolina Panthers. Oh, we're nearing the end of the second half. 20 seconds to go until the halftime show. I will not be showing the halftime show. I will review it afterward. Apparently Bruno Mars and Beyonce are going to be there, but not Clint Cowpoke. Nah, he's not going to be there. But, so, yes, the halftime show had Bruno Mars, Coldplay, and Beyonce. And it was extremely froofy. And that's okay, because it's the Bay Area. But it's like, and you could hardly hear what they were singing, which was kind of a drawback to it. I guess it was outdoors. It didn't get dark, really. And when they got to the end, rather than just show a spectacular, like, light show thing with stuff, they had this sort of, like, the stands were done up to say love and stuff in the background. But all of the fireworks stuff, I guess because it was light, fairly light out, they just cut to shots of other halftime shows to show the ending, which I thought was kind of odd. Why would they do that? It was like, yeah, I guess they couldn't up... Beyonce can't up Katy Perry? I wouldn't even think she could upstage up Katy Perry. But apparently not. It wasn't all that... It was okay, you know. It was very flamboyant, but it wasn't great. I mean, the Coldplay and Bruno Mars and there's sort of a special guesty thing, but Jay-Z thing, but it wasn't really evident too much. So yeah, it's pretty much just, that's what it was. And now we go on to the game. And there's some commercials playing, and so we're gonna go back to the game. But yeah, it was kind of a lackluster halftime show, except for the TV thing under them that was really high def that they were playing on. There was this round, sort of funky looking thing on top of a square thing. It's like a big iPhone with a round thing in the middle. It was a little like a millennial thing, I guess. Yeah, so anyway. It was all right. You know, could have been better. So it was very colorful and flamboyant and froofy. And there's nothing wrong with it being froofy, but it clearly was. So yeah, that's what it was. There it was. Okay, they just showed a Carl's Jr. ad and having been a Carl's Jr. fan from the 1980s, high school days, many years ago, in which they, I know about Carl's Jr., and in which they show this guy destroys like a steakhouse table thing, and then like, oh, I'm gonna eat this giant steakhouse burger. It's really good, and it has barbecue sauce on it, and it's really big, and and then he like bites into it, and he's got like tattoos and stuff. He's supposed to be a badass, you're a tough guy, like millennial dude, and it's like, well, first of all, no, it's not like going to a steakhouse. It's a fast food restaurant. Second of all, putting steak sauce on a burger does not make it a steakhouse burger. Third of all, are they just saying that because it's overpriced? It's like that when they came out with that $12 burger years ago, and they're all like, see, it's $12, that means it tastes better. And it didn't really. It just sort of tasted like less gross in some ways, I guess, but not necessarily, and it didn't make it miles better. I mean, it's somewhat better. So it's like, no, it's not a steak burger. So, no. No. Carl's Jr., no. Just stop. The quesalupa thing was funny, but the steak burger thing, no. So apparently, the Panthers had a kick that was going to happen. Like field goal, right? I always wondered what would happen. Football game. The guy was going to do the kick, and somehow it hit the goalpost. Well, in this Super Bowl, they hit the goalpost. The ball went up. Ping! Hit the top of the little flag next to the goalpost. It came back down. Inbounds. They didn't get the kick. Yep. Didn't get it. So it's still 13-7 Broncos. So now it's 16-7 Broncos. Apparently they got a little bit of touchdown. And it is third quarter, 4 minutes and 40-some seconds. Yeah. And there were some commercials, including this weird commercial where these dogs, dressed up like hot dogs, were running after Heinz ketchup and mustard. Which makes it look like hot dogs are made from dog. I don't think you want that image when you're eating a hot dog. They're not made from dog. They're pork usually, or beef, but not from dog. Just the idea of that is just like, no. A hot dog is actually a form of sausage. But they didn't want to name it after the German company that thought of it because it was after World War II. So they called it a hot dog instead. So yeah, we're at the fourth quarter with literally 10 minutes and 57 seconds to go. And there wasn't a whole lot in the third quarter to report on. It's still 16-7, and there was like one or two, commercials. Nothing really. Some car commercials. Ad something. Another Carl's Jr. commercial. Nothing really. This season's not very good for commercials. But we do have on the Chimera website, Super Bowl commercials, although they're fake. Yeah, we did not get permission to air anything at the Super Bowl, of course. But, then it would be AdSense. It would be making money. We're not. But here's the group running around playing the football. And really, it's been pretty much them playing football decently, and the Panthers and the Denver and the Panthers, and due to some injuries and other penalties and things, the Panthers haven't been able to come back much, although they just did get a 3 points just now. They just did apparently a goal. They caught the ball, so now it's theirs, and it's three. Just turned 3 more points. They got to kick a field goal, and so we are now 10-16. So just as I was explaining, they hadn't got a run, then they got a field goal, and so now it is 10-16. And then they showed a commercial with a weird Christopher Walken shows up to sell a Kia Ultima to a guy who walks into his walk-in closet, because why not? Yeah, so they said that as we're about 8 minutes to the end here, that mainly the Broncos have been anticipating the plays of the Panthers, and that's why they're doing so well, keeping them from scoring more. It is 16-10, So apparently there was an interception just after 7:50 something. Somebody got a concussion. Cam, maybe the leader guy, I think. Uh-oh. So, the Panthers are kind of screwed. There was an interception, and the ball got intercepted. Yeah. There's a guy with a shoulder injury that apparently is trying to play on it, too. So there was a lot of penalties on the Panther side, too, and the other side. 15 of them or something, they said. We have 5 minutes to go in the game. I'm not turning the camera off. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Kat's time. It is 16-10, Denver. There have been injuries, there have been penalties, there have been Lots of returns and punts. We didn't have any guest stars tonight. Didn't even have a commercial for Star Trek tomorrow. But if you want to go watch it, go on the Timer channel and watch the January thing. CBS All Access will be broadcasting Star Trek. I'm just kidding. CBS All Access will be doing a Star Trek show, but we are not involved. And any fan out there that thinks they're involved in it, you're not. No. So they're about evenly matched in their defense. On football. Football! 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 Back in the day, the Waynes brothers would have been all like, ooh, tight end and wide receiver. First and goal from the foe. So it's kind of like last year. The edge there at 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Super Bowl shirt from season, pre-target shirt. Before we even knew who was going to be in it. The cat was voting for the Panthers, but she's Panther-like. She didn't care, really. She was saying she was a Panthers fan. I bet they love it when they pile on top of each other and there's bits of floor all over the field. Like the dog. Still in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go, and we are back on the clock. And it looks like we have a score. Oh, shit. Now, there's a flag. It's not something. It's flagged. False start, maybe. Oh, he grabs his ass. He can't do that. I thought it was pass interference, but no, it was a holding call. It was. Yeah, it's different. We got a touchdown. Touchdown. It is now 22 Denver and 10 Carolina Panthers. Now that's what should have been done last year when they were about 5. This year, there were a few seconds to play, and they were on the 1 yard line with the Seahawks and the other guys. And they should have just done a Hail Mary and just gone for it, because they would have got 3 points and been tied. Then in this case, they did that. They're all like, well, we're at the 5, so let's just do it. Jump in there. We're getting their ass whooped. They're getting their ass whooped. Hope you didn't bet on Denver. Hope you did bet on Denver, that is. Denver, yeah, bet on Denver. The Broncos are just crushing the Panthers. They're just crushing into the touchdown. So we had to wait for the confirmation. They should have cut to commercial. So they already knew about this Super Bowl defense, I guess. 24-10. 24-10. Now they're just slaughtering her. This is like Niners back in the 80s playing. I bet that some of my relatives, because they didn't like Ian, didn't want to vote for the Broncos, so they probably bet on the other guys. But they did, and now they're probably like, oh, dang it. Oh, it's like, no. No. The Broncos are a better defensive team. I would have gone for the Broncos regardless, because, yeah, they'd be totally... So, yeah, they're going to win. But I think the trick with those betting things when they do bet is that they do more than just say, oh, this other team's going to win, because otherwise they would totally lose all the time. It would be either 50-50. They probably say, okay, with a certain spread when they play the football. I didn't bet, but I'm just saying. They're offensive. The team's offensive. They're offensive? Oh no! 2 minutes ago. We're trying to make this camera length all the way to the end of them 2 minutes ago. Hold on to the end of the commercial though. Watching commercials. Another NCIS out of New Orleans. There's another one that's a CSI in LA, even though they've been filming many of the CSI in other places. Long Beach was where they were filming many of them. So I was like, okay, let's just say it's Los Angeles now, because it obviously was like earlier. We are back to the game and recording the gloriousness of the footballists, American footballists. And we are at 1 minute 51 seconds to go. And literally, we're just going to keep rolling the camera to attempt to get the whole thing. And that's going to happen. The commercials really weren't that good. Now that it's a minute to the end of the thing, less than a little over a minute, they're already talking about it in the background. They're already saying, well, it's 24-10 now. Broncos. Yeah, and when they bet on games, not players, but when fans bet on games, yeah, they bet on the actual score. They don't just say, oh, the Denver should win all but 100. They don't do that, because that would be 50-50% chance and really easy for them to pull off if they knew what they were doing. I don't bet on sports, but if I did, I'd hedge them. I'd be all like, well, actually, I'll put 100 on that team and 100 on that team. Whichever one wins, I break even. But at least I don't lose anything. Oh, yes. Which gamblers would say, that's stupid. Longest 2 minutes ever. Yeah, the halftime show just wasn't very good. It just there. So we are going on. We are playing. We are. Clock is. Okay, we are counting down the clock toward the end of the Levi Stadium game here. This one guy's got a mouth guard with like vampire teeth on the front of it. That's pretty funny. The other guy's got one shaped like an orange. And I figure if you like 300 pounds and 7'3", no one's gonna make fun of you. Cause yeah, if 300 pounds or more and like 7'3", no one's gonna make fun of you. You're gonna be like, what the hell? But I want to see the two, jocks on the field, the two quarterbacks, look each other in the eye longingly and go like, this game really got us all sweaty. And I know our rivalry's been tough and everything, but oh my. There was one commercial where they almost went there. They had this guy and his little pet beaver out there in the woods, and he was, at the end, he almost wants to kiss the beaver. Well, it sounds a lot like, that's a Mark's Cards story right there. Yeah, looks like they're just walking around, like, now they're cutting back to the actual play-in. Yeah, it's like, are the commercials, when they air them, actually going on, or is there actually plays going on we're missing? Yeah, probably. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be like, start at 3:30 roughly, and usually goes on for about 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, this is the longest stretch we had in here of me just recording it to see, wow, this one, 2 minutes has gone on for 5.5. Now we are at 54 seconds. Now it looks like they're on the field and they're, yeah, you don't need to keep all this, but yeah, let's see, threw the ball. Oh, so the Panther threw the ball to the other Panther. The Panther then threw it to the other guy, and the Panther lost it. 36 seconds to go, and they're just running the clock, as they call it. Oh, they got a pass in there. Threw the ball out of bounds. Okay. So they already doused the coach, because the anticipation of literally 23 seconds left. It's like, it's pretty much. And now we got the men So the captain, the coach, the head coach, manager, got the dousing, even though it's a few seconds to go. And really, it's over. They might as well just say it's over. 11 seconds to go, and it's pretty much done. It's like, why did they even? Yep, it's done. It's like, come on, 11 seconds. Come on. Yes. And Broncos. That was saying. Oh shit, Broncos. Yeah. Levi Stadium. Bye-bye from Levi Stadium. Now they're coming out there to get him the trophy and all that. We don't. Somebody got a penalty for unnecessary roughness. Well, so they had a penalty at the very last second, and now they get an extra second. I can literally say that in the time that you could have a second. And it ends anyway, because, you know, screw it. From Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, not far from where we go to Bacon. Right next to it. It's the Great America Center area. The final score was 24-10. Denver Broncos over the Carolina Panthers. Now the confetti's going everywhere, and the champions have risen. And now the guy is sad on the other side. How about that kiss? I've waited all this time for the kiss, and I'm gonna get what I need. That's it. Anyway. Football.